CFOs are increasingly stepping into a leadership role. Let me talk about the ways that they really can and are bringing sustainability into the process. First of all, they're bringing sustainability into the strategic planning and budgeting processes, which are often run by or in conjunction with the CFO. And so they are considering, as part of those processes, what are the risks, and importantly, what are the opportunities in the area of sustainability? So that's absolutely key. CFOs also play a critical role in disclosure. Either they or your securities lawyers, they're working together to run your disclosure process. And so CFOs play an absolutely critical role in making sure that sustainability issues get built into the processes that you're driving for.
Now is the time for companies to examine whether their financial disclosures adequately acknowledge these types of systemic risks as these expectations rise. And to your point, disclosure is a reflection of the process that you have internally as a company.
So what I've seen is boards recognizing they need to take these kinds of emerging or systematic risks more seriously, and then looking at their management team and how that's being implemented.
COVID has tested much this year of what we do and what we're talking about, and particularly the impact that we're having on society in these areas that E, S, and G all touch. And the speed of information, that's what accelerated what happened post George Floyd. The accuracy of information is something that's of great concern to all of us. And this is part of what this gets into, is that there would be, around this discussion of materiality and thresholds of disclosure, that we'd be receiving and disclosing accurate information. Part of this was that the investor would clearly know, all investors would know who is running their companies, who is the board of directors guiding the company over the long term of their existence.
Finance needs to learn to speak sustainability, and sustainability is learning to speak finance. One way that is happening is we are increasingly seeing executives who are doing a tour of duty from finance and going into sustainability, and vice versa. That tour of duty is very important. And I would just end by going to the board question, which is, the more you as management loop in your CFO and do all of that, the better chance you have of staying ahead of your board on sustainability issues. What we're often seeing is boards are ahead of management on sustainability. They're asking questions. They serve on other boards. They're coming back. That's not an ideal situation for the board. So work with your general counsel, work with your CFO, get ahead of it, and then present a plan to the board for addressing these sustainability issues so that you're not caught flat-footed when they come and say, well, company X where I serve on the board is doing this. Why aren't you?
Over the past few years, we've expanded the scope and reach of our sustainability reporting issues identification as part of the overall materiality assessment process that I talked about earlier. So this year, we went further by using Datamaran, and this is our first year doing this, which has the capacity to assess thousands of data points on potentially material ESG issues relevant to us, which we can then assess and analyze as part of our process. So although 2020 will be the first year using this tool, the Datamaran system has helped us to cast a wider net in how we're capturing potentially material issues and societal signals that can gain momentum quickly. So while I'm sure we'll continue to seek input from our external stakeholders and from internal leadership, whether at the site or the board level, Datamaran's big data capabilities process should help us to evaluate external issues and trends in a way that reduces the potential for unconscious bias and further ensure that no materiality issue has been mischaracterized or overlooked in our mapping or risk process.
One of the reasons why we were so delighted at the conference board to collaborate with Datamaran on this, because you're really the leader when it comes to doing dynamic materiality assessments.
Well, I think when you're a non-executive director on a board, your obligation is to make sure that you are helping the company to look ahead. What are the opportunities for the company? What are the threats that are coming? Are they well positioned to be able to do that? And that comes back to asking asking the right questions of management and supporting management. You know, are there the skills and capabilities in the management team to adapt to change and to address the issues that are coming at companies, you know, not around the board table, yes, but also, you know, in the management team, and how are they measuring, tracking, and rewarding delivery of good performance against those items. You know, it really does matter, and it's hard.